Rain poured heavily that night, as if the sky itself was mourning for her. A fragile young woman stood under a flickering streetlight, her thin shawl soaked through, clutching a torn paper bag that barely held the bread she'd bought with her last few coins. Her name was Mira. Her shoes were old, her dreams even older, yet she still carried hope in her tired eyes. Behind her, a luxury car sped past, splashing muddy water on her dress, leaving her trembling in the cold. Little did she know, the man inside that car, Iron Malhotra, one of the city's richest businessmen, would soon become the person to change her destiny forever. Sparkles, before we move further, if you believe in kindness, humanity, and second chances, please like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us spread more stories that touch hearts and souls. Mira worked as a cleaner in a small cafe by day and stitched clothes for her neighborhood children by night. She never complained. Life had taken much from her. Her parents, her home, her peace, yet she never lost her will to keep going. Every morning, she looked at the rising sun and whispered, "One more day, Mira, you can make it." But behind that brave smile was a storm she never let anyone see. Iron Malhotra, on the other hand, was everything she wasn't: powerful, rich, and feared by many. His name was on every business magazine, his face on every billboard. But despite having everything, he felt nothing. His success was built on loneliness, his heart locked away behind years of betrayal and loss. He believed love was a weakness, emotions were distractions, and kindness was just another way to get hurt. Their worlds collided one morning in the most unexpected way. Iron's car broke down right in front of the cafe where Mira worked. He stepped out angrily, frustrated with the rain, the delay, and his life. As he waited, Mira walked out carrying a tray of teacups. She accidentally slipped on the wet floor, and the hot tea spilled all over his suit. The entire cafe froze in silence, expecting an outburst from the man known for his temper. But Iron didn't shout. He just looked at her, the trembling girl apologizing repeatedly, her voice shaking but sincere. Something in her eyes, pure, innocent, and full of fear, reminded him of the part of himself he had buried long ago. That single moment changed something he couldn't explain. Instead of anger, he felt curiosity. Who was she? Why did her eyes look like they carried the weight of 1,000 heartbreaks? Over the next few weeks, he found reasons to visit the cafe. Sometimes for meetings, sometimes for coffee, but mostly just to see her. Mira never treated him like the rich businessman everyone feared. She spoke to him politely, but not flatteringly. When he tried to tip her, she refused, saying, "Sir, I don't work for sympathy." It was the first time someone had ever said no to him, and it intrigued him even more. He began noticing small things: the way she smiled at children, the way she helped an old man cross the street, the way she skipped her own meal to feed a stray dog. Her kindness wasn't for show, it was who she was. And Iron, a man who had long forgotten what compassion felt like, began to see life differently through her. One rainy evening, he saw her sitting outside the cafe after closing hours, staring into the empty street. Her eyes were red, her face pale. When he quietly approached, he overheard her whispering to herself, "I wish I could just make things better for once." It turned out her landlord had thrown her out because she couldn't pay the rent. She had nowhere to go. Without thinking twice, Iron offered her a small room in one of his unused properties, under the pretext of helping an employee. Mira hesitated, but with nowhere else to turn, she agreed. Living in that small but warm place felt like a dream to her. For the first time, She slept on a clean bed and didn't have to worry about rain dripping through the roof. She left a thank you note on the table every morning before work, though Iron never said anything about it. But he noticed. Every little note she left made him smile, something he hadn't done in years. As months passed, Mira's presence softened his cold mansion and his even colder heart. He began spending more time around her, helping her with groceries, fixing things, or just sitting quietly on the balcony. She never treated him like a rich man. She talked to him like he was human. For the first time, he felt seen, not for his money, but for who he was underneath it all. But love, especially one between two worlds so far apart, doesn't come without judgment. When society noticed the connection between a billionaire and a poor cafe worker, rumors spread like wildfire. The media called her a gold digger. His board members warned him she was just after his wealth. Even his mother, a proud woman who measured worth by money, said, "Iron, people like her don't belong in our world." Iron tried to ignore them, but Mira couldn't. The whispers at work, the stares, the insults, they started breaking her spirit. She knew how cruel the world could be to people like her. One night, after everyone left, she packed her small bag and wrote him a letter. "You gave me kindness when I had nothing, but I don't belong in your world. I can't be the reason people look down on you. Thank you for everything, Mira." When Iron found that letter the next morning, something inside him shattered. For the first time, he felt the pain of losing something he didn't even realize he needed so deeply. He searched everywhere for her, her old neighborhood, the cafe, even charity shelters, but she was gone. The days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The mansion that once felt warm now felt emptier than ever. Then, one winter night, fate intervened again. Iron was attending a charity event his company sponsored, mostly out of formality. As he walked past the stalls, he saw a familiar figure, Mira, dressed modestly but gracefully, helping children distribute blankets. She had joined a nonprofit that worked with orphan kids. Her smile was still the same, but her eyes carried quiet pain. When she saw him, she froze. He walked up slowly, his voice trembling. "You disappeared." She looked down, unable to meet his eyes. "I had to. People like me don't fit into your world, Iron." He took a step closer, his tone soft but firm. "Maybe it's my world that doesn't deserve people like you." Tears welled in her eyes, and for a long moment, they stood there, two souls from different worlds, united by something stronger than status, stronger than pride, love. From that day, Iron stopped hiding. He publicly supported the nonprofit she worked for, stood by her side during events, and ignored every rumor that followed. His actions spoke louder than the world's judgment. Slowly, people began to see Mira not as a poor girl, but as a woman who changed a powerful man's heart through kindness. Months later, during a charity gala, Iron walked onto the stage. The crowd fell silent as he spoke. "I used to think success was measured by wealth, but I met someone who taught me that the richest hearts are the ones that give, not take. Today, I dedicate my company's biggest project to her, a foundation for children in need, named the Mira Hope Foundation." Mira stood in the audience, tears streaming down her face. She didn't need diamonds or fame, his respect, his love, and the goodness he rediscovered because of her were worth more than anything money could buy. In the days that followed, their love grew not from luxury, but from mutual respect and care. Iron would often say, "You didn't change my world, Mira, you became it." And for the first time in years, he wasn't the rich man saving a poor girl. He was simply a man who found love where he least expected it. Years later, as the foundation expanded across the country, Mira continued to work at its heart, humble, kind, and compassionate. Every time she looked at Iron, she was reminded that love, in its truest form, doesn't care about status, power, or wealth. It just sees souls. And maybe that's what real love is. Two hearts finding each other in a world that says they shouldn't. Sparkles, if this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It helps us create more stories that remind the world that kindness still exists. Speech balloon special. Request a comment below. Do you believe true love can exist between two completely different worlds? Because sometimes it's the poorest hearts that give the richest love. Red.